One cat I was talking to, his project there is he's building one of the Tor anonymous secure network nodes, so to facilitate the passage of information through repressive regimes and so forth. And I asked him about this space as an answer to things like the corporate co-working space movement, quote unquote, and NoiseBridge as a sort of a response to commercial systems and creating a really open participatory production system instead. And he said, I can't really think about that in terms of the big picture. I can only work on what's before me. And what he made was this space that would serve his needs. What's before me is the media and the arts, and I was working at SF Gate at the end of the 90s and into the aughts, and really realized that I was going to spend the rest of my life, you know, collecting a great paycheck and writing about Britney Spears or whatever. And they weren't ever going to let me do anything else. So I wanted to say that we can talk, for me, the work before me, is that we can talk about how the media is covering Occupy, and we can talk about how the 99% blog spread the 99% meme, and suddenly the New York Times is covering the 1% in their tax breaks on the front page, and that's cool. But it's not the point. It's not the point. You cannot reform these systems. They're deeply embedded and deeply self-rewarding. And you have to build something totally different. And there are, the tools to do this are out there. It's not just the internet. It's, there's an interesting phenomenon called crowdfunding emerging, where people work together and team up to make something come into existence. These are all things before us, the peer-to-peer networks, the horizontal, and the horizontal networks, which instead of the corporate model sort of depend on everybody working together at the ground. My own interest has been in that vein of trying to work with empowering independents and also professionals, because there's tens and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of professionals stuck in these systems having to do what they're told because they have children and a mortgage or whatever. And they want something different, but they're so vested in it and stuck with it, they can't get away. And there needs to be another way for them to do that. So in addition to listening and learning here, I'm also kind of here to recruit a little bit. I work with an organization called Independent Arts and Media, which supports independent local media producers. And you might have seen the San Francisco Public Press, which does an advertising-free quarterly print newspaper. We're also involved with the KUSF campaign, and which has got it all locked up at the FCC right now. Very interesting story. We want to build networks and support these independent producers in a way that gets all the middleman and the corporate bullshit out of the way and lets them do their thing and govern each other. So if anybody wants to talk about this, there are 3 T's, time and talent, and if you have any, some treasure, but time and talent is actually more important. I would love to talk to you, and I can tell you our story, and it's quite a story. Thank you.
I don't have anything profound to say, but